In this tutorial, we're going to create an equipment monitoring app. The main focus of this tutorial is going to be on how to create relationship between tables in Frontly. And after we create that relationship, we'll basically run through how we have created all these pages and utilize those relationships to provide data for different blocks of Frontly. So I've just drawn a simple diagram of how this is structured. So we have a company table, a contacts table, equipment table, and a warranty table. All of these by default get a Frontly ID. But the main thing to remember out here is the company Frontly ID is going to be your primary key. You're going to utilize this data in the other sheets to kind of create the relationship with the company. So if you look at this, you could have multiple contacts in a company. To create that relationship, you have to select a company ID, which is mapped to the value of what is stored in the Frontly ID. The same goes for equipment because you could have multiple equipment in a company and you can choose the company ID, which maps to a value in the Frontly ID. And the same goes for warranty. And the only extra thing what is there under warranty is we have an equipment ID because this ID is mapped to the Frontly ID or Frontly values which come from the equipment sheet. So let's have a look at the tables, how they are set up. You can see this is the Frontly ID for the companies. And if you look at contacts, you'll see that the company ID is basically the data which is coming from the company sheet, Frontly ID. Same goes for the equipment sheet and the warranty sheet, except that this has an extra column called the equipment ID column, which maps to the Frontly ID of the equipment sheet, which is this. So let's look at how to go about creating this specific application. First thing what we're going to do is import our sheet, which I've already done, and then create a relationship. I've already set up the relationship, so we'll just go through how the relationship is set up. So if you look at edit data, you will see I've mapped the contacts company ID to the company Frontly ID. So this is the primary key, and this is the value which is mapped to this specific Frontly ID. And the custom ID, I've set it up to company. And the display name is going to be the company name. The second relationship, what I've done is I've created a relationship between equipment and company. So that's Frontly ID and company ID, the same thing, which is very similar to what we did previously. And it is the same setup. The other thing what you see out here, which is similar, is the warranty to company ID, Frontly ID, company ID. For equipments, I have a Frontly ID, and then under warranty, which is the sheet, I've set it up to be the equipment ID, which maps to this Frontly ID values. Okay, and what the display name is going to be is equipment name. Save these changes, and let's quickly go into the pages. So let's look at the contacts page first, because it's one of the easiest pages out here. It uses a table block, and all we are doing here is specifying the sheet, which is contacts. And I've made a few changes out here, and the fields which I'm showing from the related sheet is the company name. So I'm just showing the company name from the company sheet, and the rest all is just contact data. Now in edit detail view of the screen, I've just made this a full page so that it's kind of consistent for the layout on all the other pages. And I'll show that to you when you see the actual application. Before we go into the application, I'll just look at the other pages. So let's look at warranties first. The warranty is very similar to how the contacts are set up. I just use a table block with the following columns all hidden. All I wanted to show is the equipment name from the equipment sheet and the company name from the company sheet. And the edit detail view is this the same format. I just use full page. And then the other thing what I want to show next is the equipments page. This is slightly different. What I've used here is a table block. The table block is associated with the equipment sheet. The columns, what I'm showing here is all the columns of equipment apart from the company name. So I'm showing the value from the company sheet of company name out here. And if you see, this is a table. So as soon as the user clicks on one of these rows, that detailed data goes into the edit detail view. And in the edit detail view, what I've chosen to do is use a custom data view, detail view type and a chosen full view. I've created a layout block. In the layout block, I've placed an info list. And an info list, what I've done is I've just used equipment. And for the value, to pull the value, I'm using detail view record Fronty ID. So it pulls the, what do you call, equipment details from the previous row which the user clicked on. For the table out here, what I've done is I want to display all the warranties related to this specific equipment. So I've created a data table, chose warranty spreadsheet, but that's going to show you all the content of the warranty table. But I wanted to only show me data related to this specific equipment ID or equipment. So what I do is select the table, choose filters, and under equipment ID, which is this table's equipment ID, equals to detail uh, detail view record Frontly ID. So basically, it's the data you're getting from the row which the user clicked on in the equipment table. That gets passed on to this page, and that value is being placed over here. And that's how you kind of like filter it out, and you only see warranties related to your that specific equipment which the user clicked on. The other setup is basically for companies. Now in the companies page, what I've done is I've used a table block with the company spreadsheet. And for columns of data, we are just using standard columns which are already existing in the page. The main changes which I've done on this page are in the edit detail view, which is a custom view, full page, and it's made up of a couple of blocks because I'm kind of filtering and showing only data related to this specific company. So what I have over here is an info list, with the detail coming from the detail.frontly ID. That's this. So it's pulling the data from the table which or the row which the user clicked on, and shows the respective company details. And then I have 3 blocks out here which are all table blocks. And how this is set up is under equipments, you see it's basically the spreadsheet. How this is set up is if you look at filters, what I've done out here is the company ID of equipments equals detail.frontly ID, which is the detail.frontly ID of the company you have selected. And that's how it filters out the data and only shows you equipments related to this specific company. So let's go back. I've done the same thing with warranty and contacts. So if you look at this and you look at filters, you'll see the company ID equals detail.frontly ID. The same goes with contacts out here, which is filters company ID equals detail.frontly ID. So when you actually check this page out, companies, you can see all the companies listed. If you select this specific company, it'll show details for this specific company, and then all the equipments for this specific company. Like I said, I added these columns for debugging. So I can see this belongs to this specific company. The contacts belong to this specific company. the warranties belong to this specific company. We did look at the contacts. So let's quickly have a look at the warranties. I think we covered this. It's pretty straightforward. Equipments was slightly different. So if you look at equipments, if you can see the company name out here, which is coming from the company sheet. And if you were to click on any specific equipment, you will see that equipment data getting pulled in this info list. And under warranties table, we are filtering out the data and only showing the specific warranty related to this specific equipment. So you can see it relates to this specific equipment. The last thing what I did was create a dashboard to give an overall picture of the entire application. So let's have a look at how we go about creating that. So go to the dashboard. The dashboard is made up of 3 stats. So it's a stat block. All you have to do is use a stat block, choose the spreadsheet. In this case, it's the companies. I'm doing a calculated value type, and it's a count. So it tells you the number of companies in your sheet. For equipment, I'm using the equipment sheet, so it counts the values out there. For warranties, I'm using the warranty sheet, and it counts the number of warranties. I have 2 charts out here. So how I've grouped this is basically I'm using a bar chart. And for the bar chart, I'm setting the label field to be warranty status. And the field value field is company ID. And the group by is warranty status. And it does a count of the number of what you call warranties, which are in active or inactive state. For claim, it's a similar structure. So if you click on warranty claims out here, you will see it's the label field is claim details. And for the value field, it's a company ID. And the group ID is claim details. And it's basically a count. Now, for equipment, this is pretty straightforward. It's just a data block, just to show an overall picture of all the equipments in the system. So it's a table block with all these values from the equipment sheet along with the company name, which belongs to the company sheet. So let's go back to the preview. And on the preview, you will see, once it loads, the number of companies, the number of equipment, the warranties, the warranty status, warranty claims, and the equipments. That basically covers how to create relationship between sheets and how to create pages using those relationships. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that inspires me to create more videos. Thanks. Have a good day.